Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Power Boost meditation. The law of attraction, even today, or up to today, this law gains a lot of interest and is very popular. Why? We all want something, we want someone. Actually, we are kind of even driven by looking what we can get, whom we can get, when and how. So our thinking and our interest is very much directed towards getting something. I want something, whether it's smaller things in my daily life or I want to travel somewhere, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want this pair of shoe, but I don't like that pair of shoe. That whole aspect of wanting is very much connected with having desires. And the nature of desires is such that you fulfill one and then more desires emerge. Additionally, yes, there are attainments. If there's a desire, if there's something I want and it gets fulfilled, there's one or another attainment. But the thing is, the attainment will not last very long. It's very short-living, it's temporary. And so deeper within, there's a discontent. There's discontent. And there is a need. There's a need of the being believing that I don't have and therefore I need. So the two main sources for our wants, I want, is A, desires, and B, I believe that I need. And if I need something, I will aim to get it. Same with desire. If there's a desire, I will want to have it fulfilled. And in either case, if it does not get fulfilled at the time I want it, the way I wish it, there will be upsetness. There will be maybe even frustration, anger. And so there's a force behind these energies that make me become more and more forceful, demanding. I want it, I need it. And then many also believe that I have a right to it. And so the demand becomes stronger and stronger. And in extreme cases, we even become physically violent just in order to fulfill our desires or what I believe I need. The more I chase after something or someone, the more I believe I need something or someone because of one or another attainment. Actually, it is like I'm chasing it away. So the more we are driven by desires, the more we will, or the less we will not get what we desire. And with people also, there are different desires that fuel our interest, or our interest in others is fueled by different desires. And it can become very stressful if someone desires something from someone. But I don't want to go further into detail in that particular thing. Desires and the neediness within the being, they basically, or these energies, will not allow for me to actually receive from life what I truly need. Because even what I believe I need may not be the one thing that I really and truly need. Yeah. And so how do we create ultimately abundance, but how do we live in order to have our needs fulfilled? And maybe this is something more in the long term. And it is not about, what I want on the outside. All our wanting, our neediness, and the greed that can also come in or will come in is connected to the outside, the material world. And whenever I look outside, I will definitively always find one or another thing or even person where my desire will be connected with. There's a lot of, this physical world is a lot available. Everyone is different. So then we also compare ourselves, which is not in our own favor. So how do we make this, it actually is a law, the law of attraction, work for us? And I think we are addressing here something very deep-rooted. The natural law does say or imply that whatever we truly need in life will be provided. And I don't have to fight for it. It will come to me. However, it has to come from a consciousness that is a consciousness, a thinking, an awareness where I deeply believe that I have already what I need. And so here we are connecting to a much more subtle dimension, moving away from the physical world and actually touching on the spiritual aspect of the self. When I start or come from a thinking of deficiency, meaning I don't have, therefore I need, and I want something. When I come from this place of deficiency, how can I ever really receive what I need? Because there's some total energy that is in our subconscious mind, and we are not necessarily aware about the different energies that we are not so conscious about. But definitively all our belief systems, they are deeper within the mind, beyond the conscious level. And the total energy in my subconscious mind or from my subconscious mind is the energy that I will also attract. And so if I keep thinking that I don't have, that I miss this, I need this, I need that, I want something here, I want something from this one, because I don't have, I am actually coming from a place of emptiness. And that empty space within, it's a consciousness of poverty. If I come from that, it fuels, it injects, or eventually projects the desires and the neediness outwardly. Physically, we may not have everything, but if we connect to our at the spiritual level, to our spiritual identity, if we look at the self at a more subtle level, then beyond just this physical body, we are connecting with that universal spiritual law of abundance. And if I come from an awareness, from a consciousness where I deeply believe I am complete within myself, I have everything, maybe not at the physical level, maybe even spiritually, I may not have everything, meaning many times I experience myself to be peaceless, unhappy. There are desires, there is neediness. However, in order to overcome that and to make life work for me, I need to come from a consciousness and awareness of fullness, meaning I have already. And as I mentioned before, I may lack many things at the physical level, maybe even at the spiritual level. But in order to get it, I need to have that deep understanding, even belief that I have already. And the root of that lies actually in understanding of who I truly am, understanding of my spiritual identity, that there was a time when I started my journey, I truly was full and complete within myself, subtly, and that implies there was a time where I was completely peaceful. I was happy. I was joyful. Consistently over a long period of time. And if I reconnect to that blueprint, if I reconnect to that potential of mine as a spiritual being, and make it my foundation of, what's the source for our thoughts? One is the outside world. Through the physical senses, I connect with the outside world. Thoughts arise from there. But another source of or influence on my way of thinking, my consciousness, awareness, my thought pattern comes from identity. And so if I connect to my blueprint, I am connecting to a place of fullness and completeness. And the less I need, the more I will get what I need. Sounds a little bit like a paradox, right? But we have to think about this deeply. So let us now move into a meditation, and the aim is to experience that place of completeness and fullness within myself. So let us take a breath in, and then I exhale. I'm aware about the surrounding, the room I sit in, I'm aware about this physical dimension, the objects in the room, my own physical body. At a more subtle level, I am in touch with my breath, observing how I breathe in and out. And in order to get in touch with my true self, with the spiritual self, I go even further, I go deeper, I go beyond this physical world, my physical identity. And I connect with my consciousness. I connect with my own subtlety. I leave behind any desires. I leave behind any form of neediness. I rise above it, connecting to an identity, to the self, that at one point of its journey was truly complete within and full, filled with peace, filled with joy, filled with strength. I have lost, my qualities have become diluted. I have become weak, and therefore I believe I need. But in order to live in harmony with the universe, with the universal or spiritual principles, I need to connect. I need to realize that I have already everything. And the aim is to make use of my inner, more subtle resources. Use my power to think, to discern, to make decisions in such a way that I utilize my spiritual energy. I strengthen the muscle of patience, acceptance, tolerance, generosity, kindness, sweetness, love, respect, trust. The more I'm able to use these qualities for my own self-empowerment and progress, the more I will be able to also express those qualities in my relationship, the world around me, with people, and even with nature. The more I realize deep within that I am a being that always exists, and that I have already what I need, the more we align ourselves with an inner truth, with the supreme guide and the universal laws. Om Shanti.